Hello, welcome to Political Delivery. Today I'll be talking about the Supreme Court's ruling on the Abigail Fisher versus University of Texas at Austin case and what it means in general. Now, for those of you wondering about the case and how it started, basically Ms. Fisher sued the University of Texas at Austin for not accepting her and claiming that other applicants who were less qualified than her got accepted to the University of Texas at Austin because they were of a minority race. Now, that the ruling has come in, what's happening is the Supreme Court is putting the case back to the appellate appeals courts and let them sort it out, and maybe it might come back to the Supreme Court later. Probably next year or 2 years. This whole legal process stuff takes a long time, so it's quite ironic in this case because already Mrs. Fisher has graduated from LSU, so while there's not much of a big deal as far as her education wise, it still is a big case for most other Americans. So, both sides are basically claiming victory, and, well, for good reason. For the pro-affirmative action people, well, they're like, yay, kids can still get accepted into colleges, and the race still will be judged, and hopefully make a more diverse student body, and give lower-class minorities a chance to rise up. And then you have anti-affirmative action people going off and saying they're winning because, well, the case is still up in the air. They still have a chance for the Supreme Court to put the ban hammer on affirmative action. Now, for those of you out there wondering what this whole affirmative action stuff is, let me go in and tell you. Basically, it calls for more diversification through gender, race, etc. in your workplace/student body. So, this is a case that could potentially affect workplaces as well. But right now, it's more looked at as colleges, since in American society we sort of look to college as a way to go on a more successful track. So of course this does lead to many strong opinions on the issue of affirmative action. Now, before I go ahead and end this little discussion, I guess I might as well bring up my point of view, and then maybe you guys will add on to this discussion in the comments below. Now, before I get started, just let me let you guys know, not only am I white, I'm also Hispanic. Why is that? Well, if you think about this. Spain, Spanish. Español, España. What kind of people are in Europe? White people. So it's not that unheard of that there's a white Hispanic. It's not that logical to think of, really. And more or less, most Americans have this view of a Hispanic simply being Latino and having more dark skinned. Let me just tell you, that's just complete and utter bull. Obviously, with races such as Hispanic, it's a very, very broad term because it just takes being related to a Spanish speaker by origin. Well, actually, not a Spanish speaker, just someone with Spanish blood. And I have 100% Spanish blood, and simply with this whole affirmative action stuff, I get the best of both worlds. Shoot. So, I am probably as neutral of a background as you can get. The middle-class white Hispanic guy. So, with that out of the way, let me go ahead and tell you my opinion. Well, I'm against affirmative action. You know why? Because I believe that in America we should be a merit-based society. We should be a meritocracy. I mean, right now we're just combating racism with more racism. At least it's my point of view. And before anyone just starts saying, the lower class people, they're going to fail. Well, here's one thing. There's lower class white people as well, so look. So, as far as the whole getting into college thing's concerned, it's all about putting the work and effort. This past year, I graduated from my high school class, valedictorian, and from the past 3 years, minorities have been graduating from the school as valedictorians and salutatorians. Back in my past 4 years, there hasn't been one single white person in either be valedictorian or salutatorian. So it's not like there's not people who are working hard, and simply without affirmative action, minorities can't better themselves. It's completely possible. Which brings me to another point. Let's go ahead and take a look at some scholarship programs that are out there for minorities. On my PSAT test, I got 187 my junior year. Because of the state I live in, that made me, I was named a National Hispanic Scholar. Thanks to that, I was able to get a scholarship covering full tuition and a $2,000 stipend per year from the University of Texas at Dallas. For me, that's great, wonderful. But of course, I had a friend who was just as smart as me, and on the PSAT would have, if he were Hispanic, would have qualified for that award, but unfortunately, he was white. Insert boo here. But yeah, I mean, with this whole concentration on race thing, we're simply taking away from people who might actually deserve that scholarship. I mean, the biggest boundary to college right now shouldn't be race. That shouldn't be an issue. It should be social economic status. Because I know some of you are probably going to bring out the argument, well, they're in some black communities or Hispanic communities or insert other race community. The schools are worse, they lack funding, the teachers are bad, and the resources they receive are terrible. Well, it's the same thing in a white, lower class, poor socioeconomic area. The issue isn't race, the issue is social economic status. I mean, shoot, it's not by any coincidence that there's a majority of minorities are lower class as far as social economic status is concerned. I mean, that's how they entered the country, whether through slavery or immigration. So, as far as people keeping you down, yeah, there is an education system that continues to keep the rich up and keep the poor down. But then again, if you're rich, hey, you want to stay rich and you don't want many people interfering with your money. That's how most of those higher upper class people feel. So yeah, we have a problem as far as that's concerned. But that comes more with education reform. Right now we need to remain in meritocracy. That's what America should be based off of. We should all have a chance to work hard and get out of this life what we want. We're only here for so long. We shouldn't just be barred from pursuing our dreams simply because some of us are black, Hispanic, white, Asian, Indian, whatever. As I conclude this, all I can say is that I support the Supreme Court's ruling. However, I wish they would have taken a more harsh stance in affirmative action. As for the rest of you, I'd just like to ask for you to subscribe and continue on with a discussion in the comments below. I look forward to reading and replying to your comments. Thank you very much.